and Shilling Court in Meru Town, which will house the High Court and a Court of Appeal registry. The move follows the donation of a 2.5-acre piece of land by the county government of Meru.
The building will house 9 courtrooms and 11 to 14 chambers for judges and magistrates. Other facilities include offices for Director of Public Prosecution, Probation and other National Council for administration of justice agencies. Speaking during the handing over of the land by Governor Peter Munya, Chief Justice David Maraga said the judiciary has already budgeted for the project and construction will start immediately. The new building will help to decongest the current courthouse.
It's part of what we are saying we need to help areas that are marginalized. Marginalization is also when services are kept very far away and you have to spend money to travel to access justice.
The Meru Law Courts, in spite of the huge volume of work that we are handling there, the space is very limited.
Governor Peter Munya has pledged to donate more land in Maua, where the judiciary intends to build a new court with provision for a high court registry.
We've given it to the judiciary, but you have given it to the people of Meru and the surrounding areas because they are the greatest beneficiaries of this donation.
Chief Justice Maraga noted that digitization of court records is one of his priorities under the Sustaining Judiciary Transformation agenda. Staff members were urged to be particularly sensitive and responsive to the unique needs of vulnerable clients, adding that there was a need to help the public understand the work and processes of the judiciary. On Wednesday, the Chief Justice laid the foundation stone for the construction of a 379 million shillings High Court in Isiolo, expected to be completed by October next year. Ashley Mazuri, KTN News.
The British High Commission yesterday held a party in celebration of Queen Elizabeth II's 91st birthday, an event which was marked by messages of peace to Kenyans ahead of the general election. The High Commissioner Nicholas Haley appealed to Kenyans to embrace peace in the coming poll, adding that credible elections will be a pathway to achieving economic growth and democracy in the country. Haley hosted Senate Speaker Mr. Ekwe Ethuro, who emphasized the need for a transparent election process.
Tonight we celebrate what unites us as a United Kingdom and as the UK and Kenya. You will find around the garden tonight the food, drink, scenery and symbols of my country. Kenya is about to enter a crucial period. August's elections are less than 2 months away. Kenya's democracy, its vibrant and free media, its lively civil society and political debate, its spirit of entrepreneurship, these are enormous strengths. The elections are an opportunity to strengthen Kenya's democracy even further, and as a friend of Kenya, the United Kingdom is deeply invested in supporting a strong, inclusive and credible electoral process.
The frequent celebration of democracy by constantly seeking approval from the sovereign power, that is the people themselves, is the hallmark of an established Westminster style of democracy that we all embrace as members of the Commonwealth. It's my prayer and hope that our own imminent general elections on August 8, 2017 will be peaceful, credible, free, fair, transparent and equally successful.
And finally, the lean season is pushing up, already alarming rates of hunger and malnutrition across northeastern Nigeria, with roughly 5.2 million people currently facing extreme starvation, or rather hunger. The World Food Program is now seeking $172 million in humanitarian aid from donors for its response program.
Over 5 million people, many of them displaced from a conflict with Islamist group Boko Haram in Nigeria, are facing extreme hunger and are depending on aid rations to survive, the World Food Program says. People should be planting next season's crop, but the Boko Haram insurgency continues to keep them from their fields. The militants, who want to establish a caliphate in the region, have waged conflict here since 2009, in which over 20,000 people have been killed and more than 2 million people have been displaced. The UN's World Food Programme is now appealing for $172 million for its operations in the region as the lean season drives food prices up. In Adama State, WFP is using a smartphone-based platform called Scope to register people and calculate the assistance required for their families. The system is meant to help improve response to people's needs and use of resources. 61-year-old Joshua Pala, a father of 13, fled with his family to escape fighting when Boko Haram attacked their village. They camped at a mountain surrounding their village and were forced to eat wild fruits and leaves for about 6 months before their village came under control of the government forces.
During one rainy season, Boko Haram invaded our village, and we ran towards this mountain and stayed there for about 6 months. We have no food there and have drinking water from ponds. We were eating tree leaves, wild fruits. We suffered a lot as we left our home without carrying anything.
The crisis risks worsening as torrential rains make roads impassable, cutting off food assistance to people in remote places. Nigeria's northeast is now teetering on the brink of famine, aid organizations say, pointing to 2 years of missed crop harvest in what was once a breadbasket for the country and the high likelihood of missing a third. Many of those living in camps for displaced people say they barely get enough to eat. At the Gubo camp in Borno State, children are being screened and treated for malnutrition.
Nutrition is one of the greatest challenges in this area here. And within this camp specifically, we've seen the rates drop from over 30% to about less than 10%. And this has been as a result of the food assistance we've had to provide in this location.
The approaching rainy season increases the risk of disease spreading, especially within camps for the displaced, adding more stress to efforts to respond to humanitarian crises. Despite the Nigerian army saying the insurgency is on the run, large parts of the country's northeast, particularly in Borno State, remain under threat from Boko Haram. Fatia Mohammed Noor, KTN News.
All right, and on behalf of the team, that's what we had for you today here on News Desk. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Sophia Wanuna. I wish you a great weekend ahead.